Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Welcome to the astrology of November. Work hard, get rich, change your home. These are just some themes I'm seeing in the sky for you as this whole month is coming into a bit of a relief from the eclipses of September. We're going to break it down week by week for you. We're going to talk about the two lunations we have, one in Aries and one in Libra. And we're going to also bring your attention, of course, to what I'm doing before we get started, because it's all about me. It's literally, I'm an Aries. Well, before I start, who am I? Lori Luthian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. And I'm trying to record in a sunny window at the end of my day. If you are at all wanting to learn to be your own astrologer and time your best life, guess what? My yearly course is starting September 27th, ends November 1st, 6 weeks live with me in a live platform on Zoom, replays available, guest modules taught by other teachers that are really great content like zodiacal releasing and relocation astrology. These are little bits of information you might want to have as you learn how to time your best life. Check it out in the description box below. See if you can jump aboard before the enrollments close on the 26th of September. And you're getting this pretty close to that. And then the other thing I want to mention is my dear friend, Renn Butler of the Archetypal Universe book fame that I have on my shelf and I'm always showing you guys, is teaching his every year 6-month class, starts in October. If you want to get into his class and get a discount code for one of the best astrology courses I've ever taken in my life, just say that I sent you. There's no code. You just got to go to enroll, send him an email. He's really old school how he gets people involved in his amazing class. He's a great teacher. You'll learn the more psycho, spiritual, mystical, and magical sides of the outer planets, the interface between our dreaming life and the sky, and connections to the psychedelic realm for those of you who are interested. There is a lovely, lovely class energy in all of his groups. People make dear friends, and he has a really good way of making people feel they belong in the class, no matter what your level of astrology. So check it out. It's in the description link below to his course. Okay, so let's talk about the weeks ahead in the month of November. My sun is progressed in Gemini, so I can kind of relate to you guys. I get the vibe, and everything about me is in my description box, right? So, my Patreon community, my Substack, go check it out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sky together. If you have a progressed sun, moon, ascendant, that's fine. But your progressed placements are not as nearly as powerful as your natal sky, but they matter. You're listening for your rising sign because it's your avatar in the simulation in this matrix, and it's circumstantially quite sensitive to events in the sky, changing your life. Your sun is your sense of your soul, who you really are underneath the mask of your rising sign, but it also will lean towards elements connected to our purpose or career matters. And the moon is your body, a mind complex, but also your feelings as well, body, mind, feelings, but also your home, right? And matters connected to domicile, home, private life. So those are ways to think about it. You could try listening for all three. I certainly would always recommend listening for your sun sign and your rising. So here we have Gemini ascendant showing here. We would pretend the sun is in Gemini here in the first house, or the moon, to do that delineation called derived houses. Now, there is something about starting off this month where it's really important to note what Mercury is up to, because he's the lord of your sign. I know we all have a different primary planetary sign lord, let's call it that, right? In the very first week of the month, Mercury is up to some serious business as he comes into a square to Pluto. Well, where did it go? I mean, Jupiter, Mercury in a square to Jupiter. And you can see it right here. Well, because Mercury matters for you, because he's the number one dude for you to pay attention to, here's a couple of thoughts. Well, he's in your fifth house. This is a positive place. And he's in the fifth house Libra zone from about September 18th to October the 5th. So having him here as the month begins, he's flowing back to the Gemini sky. He's sending good vibes from the house of lottery wins, good fortune, fertility, creativity, pregnancy, romantic love, as sexual love. So he's like looking back at you, and you don't mind his gaze. You're like, hey, Mercury, how you doing? Good for manifestation. When the Lord of the first house is traveling the fifth, it's a good manifestation transit every year. I need to do a YouTube video on manifestation in the sky, like what things work, when they work. But the other side of it is, the other thing I want to talk about is the square to Jupiter, because there is urgency that demands attention and action and decisions coming up right away, October the 1st and 2nd. You might even feel it on the 29th of September. And it's right in your face. And it's about your children, about your romantic love partner, about your entrepreneurial business. But Jupiter is abundance. Jupiter is wealth. Jupiter is prosperity. He's exalted right now in your money, earnings, and resources house. And monies that you could come into possession of. And he squares Mercury in the house of gaming, lottery, gambling, speculative wins. This just might be positive because squares with Jupiter are often still very good. The news is you won. Yay, you've got a chunk of money coming at you. Why the heck not? And with Mercury opposite Chiron, the wounded one in the house of windfalls and or friendship circles or career profitability, especially for entrepreneurs, you're having a massive surge of financial success in your entrepreneurial business, or you're winning some kind of money in some kind of game of chance, or some lucky, fortunate windfall is coming your way from some place, somewhere, somehow, some way. Good old Neville Goddard, somehow, some way, I'm effortlessly, generously, massively wealthy. Let's go with that. And so I'll keep your heads up for that. Something exciting is going on in this part of your sky in the first 3 days of October. It's not necessarily difficult, but it's very urgent, and energy-wise, it's got urgency attached to it. Need to make a decision. And with Uranus, the shock and awe god himself in Gemini, trining the sun, like it definitely could have some financial success that you didn't expect coming out of the blue in some way at this time. And your children are here, right? So your children are having some breakthrough moment to do with their own finances and their own prosperity. That's another angle on the dangle there. And then we could talk about the moon is full, it's complete, it's luscious at 14 degrees of Aries on October the 6th. That's taking cue from the new moon that was actually settling in there back in March 29th last spring. With this energetic lunation in your 11th house of windfalls. Sorry, pennies from heaven. I want to put the moon there, but it's not moving. There we go. The moon is full in the house of windfalls, pennies from heaven. Yes. So again, you could come into some money, and we still see, although Mercury's moved on, now the sun is coming into that square to Jupiter. So all said and done, look for some financial windfalls in the first week or two of October. But the moon up here is completing and fulfilling some vision or dream or long range goal that you were seeding at the end of March last year in this house. This is where we have our wishes fulfilled and our long range goals and dreams. Now, North Node is increasing your career success and worldly success and financial success and fame quotient up here. And Saturn is helping to stabilize and make things more concrete and structured and wise. So there's also, because the 11th is the gains of the 10th, some of the hard work you've been putting in over the last 3 years, since 2023, into your career, is paying off in financial fulfillment in a way that feels like a windfall, whether it's literal or not. There's a sense of accomplishment, of reaping and harvesting the height of some career mastery and authority and success, and it's trickling into the financials in a positive way as well. Now, when you move past that story and we get into, and a sibling one older, a full moon lighting up the sibling above you, one older, something going on in their world that you're paying attention to, basically, would be a code for that. And the moon is full October 6th, but it takes up to 6 months to fulfill its whole mandate. But, October 6th, at about a week or two, you should see the grain of the moon, what it's really about for you. October the 7th and 8th, Mercury squares Pluto. Mercury and Pluto are having a disagreement, and you'll see it right here on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Mercury is information and news. It's coming from the house of work, from the house of pets, from the house of health, from the house of rental property agreements. And there's information and news being uncovered or revealed, because Pluto's what you can't really see half the time. And it may come from the house of foreign places, foreign companies, foreign lands, foreign countries. It could be a visa or a passport issue and it's challenging you. It could have some connection to a legal or court matter, especially because Mars is the god of like lawsuits and Pluto's in the house of the courts and Mercury is the deal maker. So you might be working on an urgent closure to a legal confrontation, but it just could equally just be a matter of working your ass off to get the visa or the passport for international travel completed. So, that kind of thing. If you're going to travel, it will be for work under this sky around the first week of October. And Mercury could be revealing something that was secret or hidden about a sibling too older than you, or too older than you, and there's some divulging of information about the life of that sibling that surprises you. Now I mentioned, remember I said get rich, work hard, all of that, and I said move your home. This is also move your home energy, and the reason is the square to Pluto is one thing. It's divulging something you can't see, connected to foreign places and foreign shores, sure, but you'll see that Mercury, as he gets ready to hook up with Mars, is in a broad sextile to Venus in the South Node. I mean, look, Venus in the South Node, let go of your home, release, surrender your home. Maybe get some enlightenment through a female guru in your home, but otherwise you're having to let go of something connected to childhood wounds, or technically, and in really real ways, like buy a new home, sell a home, rent a new home, something like that. And Venus here in Virgo is not in good shape. So it may not be a welcome situation. You could have a woman living in your home or moving to your home, or unfortunately a child moving in, because Venus rules the house of children, to nest with you. This energy is activated, the Venus in Virgo, on September the 19th, and continues to be true through to October the 12th, where there's an inconvenience in the home connected to a female, or there's a desire to release, surrender, or let go of the home, not a female or a child of yours, right? She rules the house of children. And, this could also be a move, right? You're going to move to a new property because it involves this, which is a rental. All right. So rental property, moving, home, opportunity, energy for you in the October 6th, 7th timeframe. 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Okay, then we continue. Oh, there's a hornet here. Go away. I don't want to hurt you. I'm not particularly allergic, but they're annoying. It's the fall and they're in their last gasp to find some food, I suppose. I'm not cooking anything. Go away. I'm sending you love. Sending you love. All right. So only I would send love to a hornet. Moving into the next story. Okay. For every Gemini listening, go get your animal spirit book out or go Google the meaning of hornet energy. I'll do the same for my progressed Gemini sun. That's an animal totem message for us. Okay. I just got stung by the stinger of 1,000 trolls because I had a weepy, teary moment feeling bad for the children and the wife of Charlie Kirk who witnessed their father's murder in real time. That's just a humanistic, compassionate story. I'm not a political person involved in US politics, but oh my God, the vitriol and the trolls. Apparently I'm a everything. I'm a racist. I'm a anti-transgender. I'm a MAGA hat. I'm none of those things. So yeah, maybe that's the hornet. Maybe it's something to do with hornet energy. Now moving back to you guys and me too. Sorry about the diatribe there. I just want to make sure you realize that with Mars here and Venus here, at least until Venus gets out of here, there may be a change of your home. You may be moving home, renting a new home, changing your home for professional or work reasons, getting opportunities for new deals to work from home. One thing I love about that energy is Mars is working his ass off in the house of his joy. And with Mars and Scorpio here for you as this month begins, holy moly, man, first of all, you've been working hard September 22nd when Mars enters here. You're working your ass off. You're passionate. You're driven. You're on your A game. You might be working out more as well to get more healthy and eat better, but you're definitely working hard. But you're okay, happy, excited, passionate, working hard. He's in his dignity. He's in his joy. September 22nd to November 3rd. Go figure. That's my entire Sky Reader class window of time. And he's happy to work that hard. He loves it here. But at the same time, until Venus leaves Virgo, right, through to October 12th, that can also look like you're going to rent a home, change a home, move your home, shift your home, something like that. All right. So then as we continue forward, I'm going awfully slow today. I apologize. I think I'm going slower than I need to. We're moving into the extra special time of October 7th through the 14th. First thing is the beautiful, delicious, so lovely Venus sextile Jupiter. This energy is so positive. And when Venus and Jupiter are flowing together and they're coming off of their conjunction in Cancer that happened in August, this is the opening sextile. And I'll be doing more of this on my channel to talk about the keynote qualities of this energy. Where's Jupiter gone? There he is. So Venus was with him in August, I think around the 12th. They joined together. Now there's the opening sextile. And you're going to feel it really loving you up around October the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, even into the 10th, 6th to the 10th. Look at that. What does that look like? Well, it's increasing your financial prosperity, your possessions, your earnings, your resources financially, connected to matters of home, property, land, and real estate. Possibly some legacy wealth, some inheritances may show up for some of you. That's a stretch, but it could happen. Another part of this story is very viable, is that you are going to have a boost of money and financial success that allows for a releasing and a letting go of one home to take on a new one. This also could look like things you're doing at home to disavow pleasure, help you contain your appetite for things that are not good for you. Mars is really working you to work out, to cut out foods that are not good for you, to stop gorging on the bad stuff. That's what Jupiter loves to do in his exaltation. In your house of what you put in your mouth, he'd be like, more ice cream or more mac and cheese, more wine. And you're getting Mars to support the chilling of that effect, cool it down, take it down a notch. This energy, houses 2, 4, and 6, can also bring a pet into your life. If you're going to choose that, if that is something that you want, then a pet coming in under October the 6th to the 10th is going to be a beautiful animal that brings you an incredible amount of joy, and it's worth the possession of that animal. And it may even be a very fine animal, like a expensive breed with Jupiter's, inclination in his exaltation here. So I love that. So pets are good for that window of time, taking on an animal. Would it be a rescue? Could be a rescue. Venus rules the house of charitability. You could be taking on a rescue animal as well, or just house sitting an animal as well. Now, October the 11th, Venus comes into an argument. She's not happy with Saturn. Technically, Venus and Saturn don't not get along. They actually have a good relationship. Saturn is wisdom and mastery in your career, and Venus is pleasure in the home. There's oppositional energy. Something's not flowing. Something's not easy. And if you look at just the very, October 11th timeframe, there's even a T-square to the moon. How you feel, your emotions are rather riled, but the moon represents the home as well. There could be constriction, constraint, and difficulty in the home at this time. And it's putting you at odds with agendas about career success and worldly success. Okay. There's like a push-pull between what you need to do for success and career success and responsible duty to the career, and something going on in the home that's challenging you. Again, Venus rules the house of children. It can also be to do with a lover or romantic partner as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. There's some tension there, and it doesn't last forever, right? You're going to see it activated pretty precisely October the 11th, and it starts to fall apart. And well, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, and then that intensity is done. Right, it's over with. So take a relaxation over that. Venus rules a house of distant shores and lands. Self-known Venus, the whole story could be just nothing more than you're taking temporary residence in another land. You're on a trip or something, but there's some constriction. Like you get there and the internet doesn't work, and you have to work from home on your trip, and you're like, oh no, it's not working. That's a classic example. Now, as you go into the next story, and I love the next story, so we're going to see. Oh, and I want to go back and, I'm going to stay where I am. We're going to see Venus crossing into Libra, her home kingdom. Now, you're going to love this, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You're going to love this a lot. This is such a very good vibe, October 13th through to November 6th, because she's literally in the house that trines you. And this is a house of fertility, romantic love, creativity, entrepreneurship, joy, innocence, and wonder, childlike, yay you. And it's really the kind of vibe where you're going to have more fun. Something's going on October 13th through to November 6th, where you're enjoying life. You're enjoying life a lot more. You're having a good time. You're just kind of breaking out with some enjoyment factor. The other thing is that this is a fertility transit. So if you're of a childbearing age with Uranus in your sign, it is an unexpected fertility moment for you or your partner. Somebody is, oh no, pregnant. That could be true. It depends if you want kids. Or one of your kids could be unexpectedly having something important in their lives, including maybe a pregnancy. Venus is going to flow to Pluto in an air trine and flow to Uranus. And this is powerful. And it's kind of especially with Neptune up here, it makes a kind of kite of some kind of liftoff. Financially, a dream come true, a wish come true, a windfall, a winning some money, a dream opportunity in book publishing, higher education, or foreign land travel, a golden, exciting, unexpected grandchild on the way announcement as well. And yet you're realizing it as a realistic, as a dream that's realistic, right? There's Neptune bumping into Saturn shortly after on the 22nd. A realization of a vision or goal and dream that had you working for mastery and authority in a professional standing, coming to a fulfillment, coming to a real realization or uplift. If you wanted to like write a book, create a music, write a poem, launch a new entrepreneurial business endeavor under the sky, I'd say this is a good time to do that around October 13th, 14th or so. Now, continuing down the rabbit hole of the narrative, the next thing I want you to pay attention to, right, and like really eyeball this with me, is that Venus, as she's moved here into this new part of the sky, right, is holding that beautiful kite, that shortly after the sun gets into a really interesting tussle with Jupiter. Now, the sun is already in Libra when she arrives, so you're already shining a spotlight on creativity, entrepreneurship, children. This could be good for one of your children. A child, especially a firstborn, could lift off into a new level of career success, and they're going through an exciting time in their life. But if you go like this and you continue to move forward, you're going to notice that that darn sun is getting into a very intense square with the Lord Jupiter. Now, again, Jupiter brings beneficence even in a square. There may be a very strong, profitable moment here connected to luck, connected to good fortune, connected to pennies from heaven, connecting to windfalls, connecting to exciting, unexpected surges of financial well-being, or a positive surge of success in an entrepreneurial or creative endeavor, and artistic, creative, entrepreneurial success with financial power surge going on, helping you heal a chironic wound about your career gains in particular that you've been under the spell of, maybe on and off, since 2019. Jupiter is the god of children in Cancer, exalted. And again, this is a fertility transit. The sun is shining a spotlight on it. Is somebody having babies in your life? Is it one of your children? Is it you? I don't know. Mercury bumps into Mars on the 19th. This is a very powerful work story for you. Most of you could be health. Good news about your health. Why did I say good? Trining Jupiter. Good major changes in your dietary habits and styles because of information and news you come into around October 19th. A massive surge of good stuff going on in your workspace, your career space. And because this is beginning to create this triangle to Saturn retrograde in your 10th house, mastery, authority, old stories culminating, you're having a very Artha success vibe all month. And this is really starting to heat up now, October 19th. So I don't know what it could be, but it's like glorious financial work and reputation and career uplift for you, right? You're on your A game. A Mercury here could be news of a change in your work, a promotion, a new level of authority, a new level of income coming your way if you're employed, especially, okay? And then when I look at that energy, on the 19th, only 2 days later, the new moon in Libra. There's the moon catching up with the sun. And that's on the 21st. So just trust me, it's on the 21st. The moon is new beginnings, can take up to 6 months to fulfill. So new beginnings with romantic love, entrepreneurship, creativity, and new beginnings for your children, or and particularly your firstborn child. And this energy is exciting, because this could look like new beginnings because your child is going to get married and there's going to be a wedding. This can also look like new beginnings in your romantic life. If you're single as a Gemini and you're looking for a romantic love, then this is going to indicate a window of up to 6 months after that you may find yourself in a massively exciting, really beautiful new love story with some magnanimous, generous, wealthy partner, for example. And this energy of new beginnings in love is kind of fascinating to me because it's accompanied by Juno, the goddess of marriage, in your marriage house. She's not particularly, well, she is in a sextile to Venus. So if you start dating somebody, like say within 2 weeks of this new moon, or even within 6 months, it kind of bakes in a commitment level almost immediately, which is kind of interesting to me. And because there's like, because Venus is, trining Uranus, you would be in a fast and furious, exciting new relationship with somebody or some person that's really different from anyone else, very stylistically different from anyone else you may ever have dated before. So that new moon is accompanied by Venus midwiving it, which is why we're bringing Venus back into the story. If you want to start a new entrepreneurial business project, write a book, start a book, do a draft of a book, write a book in the 6 months that follow, you will be very successful. You will get a contract. You will be successful in the publishing of that book, where out of bounds Pluto brings you the publisher and Mercury, the agent, is working on your behalf. It looks like to plot a book would be a good idea for some of you. And this is the escalation of your natural talents and abilities in life. They're going to get very strong and even stronger because Venus is bonifying this inception point of a moon. All right, moving forward. The last week of the month, October the 21st to the 31st, is the following stories. First of all, you're going to notice the sun will square Pluto. Sun is busy doing a lot of squaring, and the sun goes into Scorpio, and that's fine. Mars is there as well. Mars will be there all the way through, as I mentioned earlier, to November the 3rd. He's in domicile. He tells everybody what to do. The sun here is lighting up your workhouse. So it's just adding fuel. It's like a steam engine when you're throwing the coal into the engine or whatever they do to make a steam engine work. It's more light. It's more intensity around success and work and career and job and employment and employee stuff. But the sun is also lighting up the house of pets and rental opportunities. And the South Node means you might have to release one place you're living for something new to come in. And that's a story that might be happening here as well. But as the sun has moved in here, he squares Pluto, and there's a very tense moment of time around the October 23rd timeframe. October 23rd, 4th, you might feel like you have a power struggle connected to visas, passports, travel, foreign lands, publications, work. Health and sickness belong to your 6th house. Mars and dignity is supporting health. If you need any surgical procedures or any kind of scalpel activity, Mars will make sure that you get exactly what you need, and Jupiter will protect the whole process and say it's all going to work out great. Mercury rules your body as well. So again, this could look like you might undergo some minor surgical procedure if you need one around that time, and it will look like it all works out for you. Again, but squaring Pluto in the 9th house could be just your anxiety or fears about what might be uncovered, maybe, by the surgical procedure. Maybe it's a what do you call it, a sample or a biopsy of something. But if it's not any of that, and it doesn't have to be at all, then this energy is really about sort of unearthing your dharma, uncovering your deeper purpose. You're working hard, but is it meaningful? Is it purposeful? Can you dig below the surface? Can you go out of bounds and be radically willing to dive headfirst into some meaningful, purposeful direction in life? And Venus in the 5th house is saying, and create something beautiful, authentic, and also dharmically aligned. Mercury trine Jupiter, trine Saturn. Look at the babes. So first of all, Mercury and Mars are doing the same story. They're forming a beautiful water trine. Trines bring flow, ease, and luck. You're going to notice that, for example, October the 24th, we'll see that Mercury at 22 degrees is really starting to hit up on Jupiter, and eventually will also hit up on Saturn, Neptune, and all that. Holy man, let's make it simple. The whole last week, October 24th to the end of the month kind of thing, is a 1-2 punch of success to do with work, money, and career. Flow, ease, and grace. End of story. Nothing more to add to it. What could I say? That's it. And it's destined, it's fated, it's bringing more worldly success to you. It's amplifying your earnings and your resources, your financial power. And it's also connected to a lot of negotiating, deal making, speaking, talking, managing and organizing situations to do with work, employees, employers. You could be up level to the director level, the VP level, if you're your own boss and you're going to reach your own new height of success, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's your A game. You're on your A game here. And first Mercury, he's worth it. And then Mars takes over. So you're going to have information, negotiations, conversations, and then you're going to make decisions and take action, the whole last week of October in that order. Mercury will cross the boundary into the sign of Sagittarius, and I'll have to get back to your sign. He's going to be spending until November 19th. Mercury is going to spend time in your, Mercury will spend time in Sagittarius till November 19th, and he's going to retrograde back into your workhouse. And then he's going to go back into your, so we're not going to cover all of it today. That's on my channel. But the idea is that Mercury enters into your 7th house. And you feel the sea change. Something feels different here, October the 29th, right? And having him out of your sixth house, right? You're now looking at conversations with your audience, business partners, clients, negotiating, maybe a contract or a deal. He doesn't quite meet up with Juno. So the contract or deal doesn't quite get formed, even though you might be trying to pull it off. But there's also communication connected to commitment and committed love. And there's Venus still in the romance house. So there might be a lot going on here for some of you that if you engage in any dating activity in October, this is where the relationships, there's conversations. Are we a thing? Is this committed? Are we monogamous? What is this thing anyway? That would look like something like that to me. And you may be having conversations with a significant other about your home and where you want to live and whether you want to stay where you guys are or you want to move away to somewhere different. That's another way that could play out. Because Mercury is talking to Pluto in the house of foreign lands with the moon there. And some of you might be thinking, should we renest to another country? Or should I move to another country with somebody else who's important to me? Should I partner up with another person who's from a foreign country? These are themes that Mercury's negotiating and talking about. And all of this puts Mercury also in an alignment with Saturn and, Neptune, not by degree, but by sign. And so he's really working to support your career. He's talking to the career planets, he's squaring them, but it may involve matters of career. It may have you focus on that. And look at that beautiful Mars trine to all of that at the same time. Okay, so you could be negotiating a change in your job, a change in work, a change of position in work, and things are flowing and there's a lot more money coming. And like I'm laughing because my son, I don't think I'm going to take on a new job because I'm my own boss, but I could hire some new employees, but I also could be offered some new contract. Somebody wants to offer me a contract in a new direction. It might take a while to get that hammered out. It might take a few months, but it is a new story that some of you Geminis are looking at. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you don't mind. And if you would follow me on Substack, I write the Pluto Chronicles. It's all world astrology. I'm doing a lot less on YouTube because of being censored and demonetized and also trolled there. So go over to the civilized realm of Substack where I write about world events. I put content out constantly, and it's all free unless you want the all signs content. Then you just upgrade to like $7 a month. And then when I put my weekly and monthly all signs content out, and often more than that, you can also read for your sign as well as world events. But come check it out. Check out Patreon and come join me in Sky Reader, or check out Renn Butler and his Archetypal Universe book is on my shelf. And of course, his course. I am having a hot flash. I'm going to go make some dinner. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be very, very well. Ciao, ciao.